Now, hello everyone! How are you today? Hope everybody is fine and safe. I am your teacher, Jem Raymond, and today we will continue discussing the DepEd Memorandum 17 series of 2025 entitled the Interim Guidelines for DepEd Performance Management and Evaluation System for school year 2024-2025. Now, this is actually my third video on this department memorandum. Now, for those who missed my first and second videos about this DepEd memo, you can search it in my YouTube channel. Yung unang video ko, na-discuss ko doon yung PMIS cycle na magiging guide ng mga teachers sa mga activities na gagawin when it comes to performance management for school year 2024-2025. At yung second video ko naman, na-present ko doon ang iba't ibang PPST-based objectives na gagamitin ng mga proficient teachers o yung ating mga teacher 1 to teacher 7 at yung ating highly proficient teachers o yung ating mga master teachers. Paano nga ba i-assess ang PPST-based objectives ng PEMES for school year 2024-2025? At ilang classroom observation ang required na gagawin ng ating mga teachers for this school year? At ano-ano yung mga COI na need i-observe? At ano-ano naman yung mga protocol na dapat tandaan before, during, and after classroom demonstration? Ang lahat ng ito, sasagutin natin yan sa video na to. Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Jem Raymond Chen, Master Teacher 2 from Escalante Central Elementary School. Click like and share if this video tutorial helps you. Don't forget to click subscribe below to keep updated for my future tutorial. Nakalagay nga dito na required pa din ang mga teachers for classroom observations for this school year. Pero may options ang mga teachers na pwedeng isa at o dalawang full period classroom observations ang gagawin niya anytime ngayong 4th grading period with agreed schedule sa pagitan nila ng kanyang rater. Unang option for teacher full period classroom observation ay pwedeng dalawang classroom observation ang kanyang gagawin ngayong 4th grading period na kung saan ang classroom observable indicators ay distributed across observation. Ibig sabihin, sa lahat ng COI ngayong school year 2024-2025, pwede niyang unti-untiin o hatiin ang mga COIs or classroom observable indicators sa dalawang classroom observations na gagawin niya. In case nga option A or unang option ang pipiliin ni teacher na dalawang observations ang kanyang gagawin, ito yung distribution o ang paghahati-hati ng mga classroom observable indicators or COIs in each classroom observation. Na unahin na muna natin ang mga teacher 1 to teacher 7 na mga objectives. For proficient or teacher 1 to teacher 7, kung pipiliin niya na dalawa nga ang classroom observations na gagawin niya for this 4th grading period, for first classroom observation, 5 lang ang idinemo niya. Now, that's Objective 1 or PPST 1.1.2 or Applied Knowledge of Content Within and Across Curriculum Teaching Areas. Objective 3 or PPST 1.3.2, ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. Objective 4 or PPST 1.4.2, use range of teaching strategies that enhance learner achievement in literacy and numeracy skills. Objective 6 or PPST 2.4.2, maintain supportive learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. At yung Objective number 8 or PPST 3.3.2 or design, adapt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. So itong 5 COIs na to ang i-observe lamang for first full period classroom observation out sa 2 na gagawin ni teacher. Now, ano naman yung mga objectives for the second full period classroom observation? Now, for second full classroom observation, These are the 5 objectives na need i-demonstrate ni teacher. Yung objective 1 pa din, or PPST 1.1.2, Applied Knowledge of Content Within and Across Curriculum Teaching Areas. Objective number 4, or PPST 1.4.2, or Use a Range of Teaching Strategies that Enhance Learner Achievement in Literacy and Numeracy Skills. Objective number 5, PPST 1.7.2, Use effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. Objective number 7, PPST 2.5.2, apply a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. At yung objective number 9, PPST 3.4.2, or plan and deliver teaching strategies that are responsive to special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances, including geographic isolation, chronic illness, displacement due to armed conflict, urban resettlement or disasters, child abuse, and child labor practices. This time, let's have the master teachers. For master teachers, kung option 1 din ang pipiliin niya o yung dalawang classroom observation ang gusto niyang gagawin ngayong 4th grading period, 3 objectives lamang ang kanyang ipapakita each classroom observation. For first CO, that's objective 1, 3 at 7 ang need niya i-demo, while objectives 1, 5 at 7 naman ang second classroom observation. Alamin natin kung ano-ano yung mga specific indicators na to. Now, for first full period classroom observation ng master teacher, ang need niya lang i-demonstrate ay yung model effective applications of content knowledge within and across curriculum teaching areas, or PPST 1.1.3, or objective number 1. Yung PMIS objective number 3, or PPST 1.3.3, promote effective strategies in the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. At ang objective number 7, PPST 2.5.3, model successful strategies that support colleagues in promoting learning environments that effectively motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. Sa second class observation naman ng master teacher, 3 pa din ang CUIs na kanyang need ipakita. At ito ang Objective 1, PPST 1.1.3 pa din, Model Effective Applications of Content Knowledge Within and Across Curriculum Teaching Areas. Yung objective number 5, PPST 1.7.3, display a wide range of effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. And pangatlo, objective number 7, PPST 2.5.3, model successful strategies and support colleagues in promoting learning environments that effectively motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. Now, what if pipiliin ni teacher o di kaya ni master teacher na isang classroom observation lang ang kanyang gagawin ngayong 4th grading period? Kung magde-decide si teacher 1 to teacher 7 o si master teacher na option B o isang classroom observation lang ang kanilang gagawin, ang lahat ng COIs o Classroom Observable Indicators ay dapat nilang ipakita sa classroom observation na yon ngayong 4th grading period. Now, in case si teacher 1 to teacher 7, 8 COIs o Classroom Observable Indicators ang kanyang ipapakita in one classroom observation. That's objective 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Habang 4 naman na COIs o Classroom Observable Indicators ang ipapakita ni Master Teacher kapag isang classroom observation lang ang kanyang gagawin ngayong 4th quarter. That's objective 1, 3, 5, and 7. Ano-ano ang dapat tandaan before classroom demonstration? Ang gagawin ni teacher during pre-observation, katulad pa din ng dati, mag-a-agree ang rater at ratee ng schedule ng classroom observation. Dapat iset yung classroom observation at least 3 working days before the actual classroom observation. Pangalawa, in case may mga untoward incidents na mangyari like natural and man-made calamities, pwedeng gumawa ng sariling timeline ng classroom observation ang school provided approve ito ng school's division superintendent. Ang default mode ng classroom observation ay in-person or face-to-face observation. Ito yung nire-recommenda talaga na gawin sa mga schools. Pero in case may mga pronouncement na makakaapekto sa school operation tulad ng nangyari nga nung pandemic at blended learning ang ini-implement, ito ang mga modes of alternative na classroom observation na pwedeng gawin. So, pwedeng online synchronous classroom observation, online asynchronous classroom observation, and classroom observation via Learning Action Cell. Now, during pre-observation conference, before the conduct of actual classroom observation, i-review ng rater-ratee ang mga COT rubrics appropriate sa required na i-observe. Ang mga CO tools na to ay pwedeng ma-access on this link. Next, magsasubmit si ratee o si teacher ng kanyang lesson plan a day before sa scheduled classroom observation for review and assessment on the part of the rater. Again, isasubmit niya ito sa kanyang rater para ma-review and para ma-assess. Now, for Teacher 1 to Teacher 7, ang lesson plan na ginamit niya during the demonstration o yung mga gagamitin niya during the actual classroom demonstration, yung mga activity sheets at yung mga assessment materials, pwedeng gamitin yun as MOVs ni teacher para mabigyan siya ng naaangkop na rating sa kanyang IPCRF. Using the PMES Proficient Teacher Tool, pwedeng gamitin yon as MOV ni teacher para mabigyan siya ng rating sa objective number 2, which is non-classroom observable indicators o yung PPST 1.2.2 o yung Use Research-Based Knowledge and Principles of Teaching and Learning to Enhance Professional Practice. Now, itong pangatlo, isa ito sa mga bagong guideline na dapat nating tandaan. Sabi dito, dapat siguraduhin ng rater at of course ng mga ratee din na ang mga lesson plans, yung mga support instructional materials, yung mga assessment tools, at yung iba pang mga teaching and learning resources na gagamitin ng teacher sa actual classroom observation ay pare-pareho sa usual na ginagawa at ginagamit ni teacher during the regular class days. Ito'y upang masigurado na yung actual demonstration o yung actual scheduled classroom demonstration ay nagpapakita talaga ng totoong nagaganap sa pang-araw-araw na pagtuturo ng teacher. Again, ini-emphasize dito na dapat yung actual classroom observation na gagawin ni teacher ay yung pare-pareho sa ginagawa niya sa pang-araw-araw niyang pagtuturo. Now, nagets ko po kung bakit nilagay ito ng DepEd Central Office sa dapat gawin during classroom observation. Usually kasi, ang practice sa field kapag scheduled classroom observation at rated yung classroom observation, nagpe-prepare talaga ng sobrang daming support instructional materials ang mga teachers. Okay lang naman yun kasi graded nga naman yung demonstration. Pero ang tanong, ito ba talaga yung ginagawa ng teacher sa pang-araw-araw niyang pagtuturo? Kung oo, mas mabuti. Ang gusto lang mangyari ng ating central office dito, sa tingin ko lang, ay ipakita lang ni teacher sa scheduled demonstration kung ano talaga yung actual na ginagawa niya sa classroom araw-araw. Nang sa gayon, malalaman ng rater kung paano matulungan si teacher when it comes to his or her teaching practice. Ano naman ang dapat gawin during classroom demonstration? Magdi-deliver ng classroom observation si teacher. I-deliver niya ito ng buong class period. Si rater naman ay magdadala lamang ng observation notes para i-record ang kanyang mga comments and observations regarding sa performance ng teacher. Now, kung master teacher ang magde-demo, allowed ang co-teacher niya o ang kanyang mga mentees na mag-observe during his or her classroom demonstration. Na pagkatapos ng observation, magre-rate si rater gamit ang individual rating sheet base sa level ng teacher. Only those indicators expected to be observed in an observation period ang mabibigyan ng rating. Kung marami ang mag-o-observe, especially for secondary and senior high school, ang subject specialist lang ang magre-rate sa Objective 1 sa apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching area. Pero sa elementary, since generalist, maituturing yung mga elementary teachers, pwedeng lahat ng observers sa elementary makapag-rate sa Objective 1. Again, kung marami ang observers, gagamitin nila ang Inter-Observer Agreement Form para doon nila ilagay ang kanilang final rating sa performance ng teacher during the classroom observation. And in case magkaiba ang kanilang rating per indicator, magdidiscuss sila kung anong rating talaga ang ibibigay kay teacher on that particular objective or indicator. Hindi pwedeng i-average ang kanilang individual ratings. After ma-fill up ang rating sheet or ang inter-agreement form for multiple observers, magkakandak ang rater ng post-conference meeting with the ratee para i-discuss ang mga experience at performance ng teacher during the demonstration. It should be conducted in a very friendly manner. During the post-conference, ang mga teaching materials, documents such as activity sheet, assessment materials, assessment results, and other materials ay dapat bigyan ng naaangkop na IPCRF rating para sa particular na non-classroom observable objective when applicable. Now, how to assess the non-classroom observable indicators or NCOI para sa mga proficient or teacher 1 to teacher 7 at highly proficient teachers o yung ating mga master teachers? Ano-ano yung mga ipiprepare na MOVs or means of verifications ng ating mga teachers? Ilang MOVs ba ang kinakailangang ipakita ni teacher per NCOI? At need pa ba i-compile ni teacher ang lahat ng kanyang MOVs sa portfolio at isasubmit at the end of the school year? Alamin natin yung mga kasagutan sa mga tanong na yon sa part 4 ng aking video on the interim guidelines for PEMES. That's all for this video, teachers. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Keep safe, everyone!